everybody, welcome to the Lion King Experience. My name is Cindy Winters.
And I'm Jelani Remy.
We play Simba and Nala on the North American tour of Disney's The Lion King.
We're your hosts for this introduction to theater through the lens of The Lion King. Over 18 sessions, we'll explore the fundamentals of performing, writing, directing, and designing for the theater.
Today's session is our introduction.
Like any art or profession, the theater has unique elements and vocabulary. Since The Lion King is a musical, let's start by talking about musical theater. A musical is a type of play that employs singing and dancing as well as acting to present a story on stage to a live audience. Many different design and technical elements including sets, costumes, masks, puppets, hand properties or props, lighting, and sound complete the experience of each musical. We like to say that musical theater is where all the arts come together.
It takes many different people doing many different jobs to make a musical happen.
Theater usually begins with the playwright, who develops the overall story and writes the words of the play. The playwright of a musical is often called a book writer. Unlike a regular play, a musical contains more than spoken words and therefore has other writers skilled in other areas. A composer writes the music, and a lyricist writes the lyrics, or the words that are sung to the music.
Once a musical is written, there's a team of people in charge of interpreting the story on paper and bringing it to life on stage. The director is the leader of the team who develops an artistic vision for how the story will be realized on stage. The director assigns actors to play each role, a process called casting. He or she also coordinates all of the creative elements and tells the actors where to go and when. The music director is in charge of teaching the score, the songs together with the underscoring and transition music to the performers. The choreographer creates and teaches the dance numbers and all other movement that accompanies the score.
Then, there's a team of designers who create the visual world of the play. Everything you see: sets, props, costumes, makeup, masks, puppets, and lighting. There's also a sound designer who works with mics, sound effects, and speakers to enhance the oral world of the play. Everything you hear.
Actors like Jelani and me are responsible for performing in a musical. We play the characters whose story takes place on stage. We're the ones you see, but there are so many other important people behind the scenes making the show come together.
The stage manager keeps all rehearsals and performances orderly and on schedule. The crew work off stage to make sure all sets, costumes, props, lighting, and sound come together during performances.
A production of a play starts with a script, which is written by a playwright. For a musical, the authors are the book writer, composer, and lyricist. Everyone refers to the script during planning and rehearsals. The script includes the characters' dialogue, what the actors say on stage, as well as stage directions that describe the action and give clues about blocking. That's where the actors move on stage to tell the story.
Now, let's talk about our show. The Lion King Jr. is a special musical for young performers based on the 1994 Disney animated feature The Lion King and the 1997 Broadway musical directed by Julie Taymor. The characters of The Lion King are inspired by animals that can be found on and around the African savanna. Here's a brief overview. Rafiki is the wise shaman-like mandrill, a large monkey related to the baboon. She observes Simba as he matures and offers him advice on his journey. Simba is the brave young lion prince of the Pride Lands. He's the hero of our story. Mufasa is Simba's father and king of the Pride Lands. Sarabi is the queen, Simba's mother, and leader of the lionesses. Zazu is a hornbill, the anxious yet loyal assistant to Mufasa. Nala is the fearless young lioness and Simba's best friend. Timon and Pumbaa befriend Simba after he leaves the Pride Lands. Timon is a sarcastic and playful meerkat who roams the jungle with his sidekick Pumbaa, a kind-hearted and sensitive warthog. Every good story has a villain. Scar is Mufasa's brother and Simba's uncle. He wants nothing more than to become king himself. Scar raises an army of hyenas, including Shenzi, Banzai, and Ed. mangy and ruthless scavengers who live just outside the Pride Lands. These characters work with the ensemble, who play other animals and even some plants, to tell the story of the Lion King.
The Lion King Jr. is a condensed version of The Lion King, which can be seen on Broadway and in productions around the world. The play begins with Rafiki gathering animals from near and far to welcome the newborn cub of Mufasa and Sarabi, the rulers of the Pride Lands. As the firstborn, Simba is next in line to the throne. The king's jealous brother, Scar, skips the royal ceremony, which angers Mufasa. Simba grows into a curious young cub. Mufasa explains the rules of balance in the Pride Lands. As the circle of life continues and time passes, Simba will one day become king. Plotting the young cub's downfall, Scar encourages Simba to explore the forbidden elephant graveyard to prove his bravery. Simba takes Nala on a great adventure. After ditching Zazu, they trespass into the elephant graveyard where they are trapped by hyenas. Mufasa arrives in time to save the cubs and takes them home. Scar emerges and reveals his big scheme to steal the throne. Back in the Pride Lands, Mufasa tells Simba to look for guidance from their ancestors who reside in the stars. The next day, Scar leaves Simba in a gorge and triggers a huge wildebeest stampede. Mufasa saves his son, but Scar pushes Mufasa back into the gorge where he is trampled. Scar leads Simba to believe that Mufasa's death is his fault and encourages him to flee the Pride Lands forever. Sarabi, Nala, and Rafiki mourn the loss of Mufasa and Simba as Scar assumes the throne of the Pride Lands. Lost in the desert, Simba meets Timon and Pumbaa, who share their worry-free lifestyle with him. Under Scar's rule, the Pride Lands are nearly destroyed. Nala leaves in search of help and is surprised to find Simba alive in the jungle. After celebrating their reunion, Simba is still riddled with guilt. He refuses to take his rightful place as king until Rafiki reminds him that life is all about learning from the past. Simba returns home to confront Scar, who ultimately confesses his murder of Mufasa and is banished. Simba becomes king and balance is restored to the Pride Lands. Today, we've reviewed some musical theater basics, including theater jobs, as well as the key characters and story of The Lion King Jr.
Now, you'll dive deeper into the world of the show by putting some events in order and performing scenes from the beginning, middle, and end of the play. Have fun!